Simple present in English according to the person. I, you, we, they, he, she, it. Verb be. Regular verbs. Verb endings. Irregular verbs. Auxiliary verb do, does. Verb be. Conjugation. I am. He is. She is. It is. We are. You are. They are. Verb be negative statements. I am not. He is not. She is not. It is not. We are not. You are not. They are not. Verb be negative statements reductions. I am does not have a reduction. He isn't. She isn't. It isn't. We aren't. You aren't. They aren't. Practice these sentences. I am a doctor. You are a dentist. He is a student. I am not a doctor. You are not a dentist. He is not a student. She is a teacher. It is a dog. We are friends. She is not a teacher. It is not a dog. We are not friends. They are kind. He is smart. She is tall. They aren't kind. He isn't smart. She isn't tall. Regular verbs. Third person transformation. Only, he, she, it change the conjugation in regular verbs. For any other person, singular or plural, we use the base form of the verbs. Let's see what we mean when we conjugate the verb work. I work. You work. We work. They work. He works. She works. It works. Regular verbs ending sounds. Now, let's see what happens with the ending of the verbs. When the verb ends in ch, ss, sh, x, or z, we add es to the third person conjugation. Look at this examples. He boxes. She watches. It washes. If the verbs end in any other letter sound, then we only add an s. He drives. She sleeps. It barks. Practice these sentences. I drive to work. You work at the hospital. He dances with a friend. She plays video games. The dog watches the house. We cook breakfast. If the word ends in y preceded by a vowel, we only add an s as in most cases. If the word ends in y preceded by a consonant, we change the y for an I and add es. Practice these examples. She studies French. He plays baseball. He parties every night. She pays the bills. Irregular verbs, third person. Irregular verbs third person work very different. Check out the next examples. I go. You go. We go. They go. He goes. She goes. It goes. I have. You have. We have. They have. He has. She has. It has. I do. You do. We do. They do. He does. She does. It does. I am. You are. We are. They are. He is. She is. It is. Now, let's practice. She goes to the park in the afternoon. He has a big red dog. He does his homework all the time. She does the laundry on Saturdays. It is a red car. It has 2 black dots. To express negative simple present statements, we use the auxiliary verb in its 2 forms. Do. Does. See the examples. Practice these sentences. I don't drive to work. You don't work at the hospital. He doesn't dance with a friend. She doesn't play video games. The dog doesn't watch the house. We don't cook breakfast. Auxiliary verb do, does. Do. Does. Is an auxiliary verb that helps other verbs express complex ideas. Do is auxiliary and also a regular verb. Auxiliary verb do, does, is used to ask, to give short answers, and in negative statements. The third person, conjugation for the auxiliary verb and the regular verb, do. See the examples. I do. You do. He does. She does. We do. They do. It does. Now, practice. Do you eat pizza? Yes, I do. I don't like pasta. So, I don't eat pizza. This is very important to remember. When you use the auxiliary verb, the second verb is used in the base form. So, when you work with the third person, the accident expressed with s, es, is, does not happen. Let's see what we mean. She goes to the park in the afternoon. Does she go to the park in the afternoon? He does his homework all the time. Does he do his homework all the time? He studies very hard. Does he study very hard? We hope this presentation has been helpful. Test how much you learned.